What's up, guys? It's Scroo from TwinstiqLP. This is Mudrunner. This is part 3 of the crossing the Deluge videos. This is the E7310, it's the biggest vehicle in the game. I found this earlier. If you watched part 2, you watched me pull another truck out of the river with it. This thing uses a boatload of fuel. So I've got a utility trailer which carries 600 liters of fuel and 600 repair points. And I want to take this down a different route, maybe a little bit, because I think it can handle it. And I'm looking at going down here. You see where the lines are. I kind of want to go that direction. I think it can make it pretty easily. And then I want to go, you know, anywhere in that same neighborhood of getting back up there on shore. You see the 3 lines. My 3 previous paths. And you'll have to excuse my after-the-fact commentary again. It's I actually did a live commentary with this video, but while I was editing my audio, for some reason I still haven't figured out, my computer blue screened, and before I could save my audio file, it was gone. Luckily, the video had already saved. I used Audacity. Audacity tried a crash recovery, and I only got 59 kilobytes out of the 300 megabyte audio file, so it was gone, unfortunately. So here I am doing a post commentary. Yeah, I don't really like doing that very much, but you know, it's okay. It works out. Anyway, here we go. We're on the route, and this again is casual mode. Since doing this, I have started hardcore mode, and man, it is much more difficult. You use a lot more fuel. Your differential lock isn't just readily available. Like, I can't just hit X on the controller and lock the differential. I have to actually shift gears, which actually I like that. That's cool. Anyway, there's a lot more micromanaging. You can't just go to a log station and load up. You can't just hold the button down and load up. You have to go there with like a crane or the skidder and actually load up your logs and pack them yourself. And actually, my first map, I tried the bog last night, and I got super stuck. I wish I had recorded that, because that was a hell of a video. It took me almost 2 hours to get my truck unstuck. Now I could have just abandoned it, dropped the load, and you know, gone back and got a different trailer and gone again or something. But I really wanted to solve the problem, and I did. And that says a lot for the game to be able to do that. Alright, anyway, here we are, back on the current subject. This is a really capable vehicle. What do you guys think this thing weighs? I'm gonna guess 30 tons empty. And assuming those logs are green, we probably put another 10 ton logs on there, so 45 tons. That might be conservative, actually. I don't know how big this is. But those medium-sized logs, that's what I'm carrying back there. Those are probably, I'm going to guess 30 feet. 25 feet, maybe. A little better estimate. Anyway, I don't think this will have any problem going through the river, which is why I decided to go this way. Doesn't exactly have a high, tight turning radius. And if I remember correctly, I decided to actually skip to the daytime here, which isn't something I've done yet, but I really wanted like a full daylight crossing of the river. I don't think I've had one yet in the 3 videos that I've made. I should remember since I made them, but I don't. also feel a little less jittery about it, being able to cross in the daytime, just see where you're going. You can just look out there. There's a little bit of, you know, the fog and yeah, here we go, skipping night. So it's still harder to see, but it's only 6 in the morning, game time. Used about 80 liters of fuel. Because assuming that, you know, this is the Russian wilderness, and I imagine if you're going to camp out in your truck overnight, you're going to want to keep the engine and the heater going so that you don't freeze. So anyway, there's the plan. I want to go out to that little island, make a left. Perhaps. I don't remember if I did that or not. It seems like that was fighting the current quite a lot. I don't know why I don't remember this. This was yesterday that I did this video. Oh yeah, I remember I was showing the big grates on the side there. That's the intake. And if the water comes up too high above that intake, it'll start damaging the engine. I don't think that ever happens here. This thing's a pretty damn capable vehicle. This is a really heavy 8-wheel drive. Differential is always locked on this thing. Uses fuel like nobody's business. And we don't want to fight the current too much, because I have a feeling that doesn't happen here. Spoilers, we don't lose again. But I think even this thing could be turned over pretty easily if you mishandled it. Alright, so I was making the left turn to that little island. Because I think I decided it was just too much trouble to try and cross at that point. I think it's just too far, it's a little too deep. Been interesting. I've seen a couple of new versions of these large vehicles. The I want to say it's a D570, maybe D530, something like that. And this E7310 that people are making in the modding scene. Sorry, I'm slightly distracted here apparently. Alright, and then from here I was just going to make the turn. Oh no, this isn't what I was going to do. Seems like I show you what I'm going to do here. To go along. Yeah, that was my original plan, was to make that turn, but I changed my mind. That's more or less the path I want to take. And once again, I think ultimately I decided to do that because the current is wide here and it's moving really fast. That's the view of the trailer. There are little repairs. That came in really handy last night when I got super stuck with that C255 and a long log trailer. I made a wrong turn, ended up on the back side of a lake in the middle of a forest. I don't know how. Oh man. But I did it. I got out. I was really proud of that. Alright, I guess we're going for it. Again, angling into the downstream side of the current. So you're not quite fighting it as hard. One gripe with this game. I really love it. It's really good. But the camera is not good. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's really difficult to maneuver and keep in the place that you want it to be. Unless you just put it someplace and don't touch it. But you often need to rotate around the vehicle because, as you can tell, you can't see over everything. There are some nice little snap twos. You know, pressing left on the D-pad will take you to the side or to the front of the truck, and pressing right on the D-pad will take you back to the trailer, and then you can use the sticks on your controller to move back and forward. But to rotate from one side to the other is weird, because the camera wants to pan before it actually moves, and then it moves really quickly, and it's kind of a pain to control. Even now, I've been playing this for close to 40 hours now, and yeah, it's just kind of a pain. But I mean, all in all, this game is super solid. I haven't had anything close to a crash yet, aside from the blue screen, but that was after the fact. I did experience a weird little hang yesterday, but it almost seemed like it was maybe like a quote-unquote seam in the world that needed to like do a quick load. But it only took like 2 seconds. But it felt a little weird. I was a little worried about that. Okay, so we made it. Easy peasy. I didn't really have any doubt. I actually thought I was going to use a lot more fuel than that. That was the reason I carried this trailer, was in case I ran this thing out of fuel. Now I think in hardcode mode I would, because you're using something like anywhere from twice to about 4 times as much fuel, depending on how much you're hitting the throttle. And when you're crossing that river, you've got to have the throttle on all the time. You can't stop. Especially in a big current area. You know, in areas where it's shallow like this and you're only halfway up your wheels, you're not really worried about getting swept away. Just gonna plow through, I guess. And then again, our reward is a paved road, which sounds silly, but if you haven't played this, I guarantee you will appreciate a paved road. Recording got a little chopped up there. The game doesn't ever chop up. The game runs fantastic. It's not very demanding, as you can see. I'm not talking about major HD textures or anything. Not that the game doesn't look good. It's actually very pretty, I think. Really representative of where they want you to think you are. It's really cool. I relate a little bit to this. I'm not quite this bad where I live, but I've been up some pretty muddy roads and like old fire access roads and that kind of stuff in the wintertime, or fall, I guess, really, not winter, when it's like, if you don't have four-wheel drive, you just don't go. Nothing quite as bad as this, but I've been in situations as bad as this. civilization isn't around and people I know, I can call for help or call a tow truck or something like that, but... Alright, well, here we are. There's the other two trucks. Like that the game cheers you on when you get close. It's like, yeah, you did it! Sweet music! Ah. Alright, unload. 6 hours and 44 minutes. That took me, I want to say, close to 2 hours longer than just about any other map. Now, so far in hardcore, the one I did last night, the very first map, took me 6.5 hours. So, I think it took me about 4 hours when I first did it on casual. So you can tell that there's definitely a difference in the mechanics. But the mechanics are super solid. Anyway, guys, this is it. That was Deluge Part 3. That was the hardest map in the game. I don't know if it's necessarily the hardest. It's the most challenging in the fact that you've got to cross a big river. And you need to do that very tactfully. Anyway, alright guys, thank you very much for watching. I've been Scroo with TwinstiqLP. Have a great one.